So I guess we face a big question mark. Our future is undetermined. And we are frightened because our daily life has been kind of turned upside down. We're afraid of losing money, losing work. We're afraid of being stuck in our houses, being disconnected from each other. There's like a sense of panic in the air. The question is, it's like, what are we really losing? Why are we in this paradigm of fear and lack? You know, what are we really losing? I find myself like, I feel like my ego has been the loudest it's ever been in the last little bit. Because it's perceiving that I'm losing something. It's perceiving that something is being ripped away from me, whether that be my work, my job. But in a sense, I still remain. I guess to realize that we shouldn't fear is to realize that we have nothing to lose. That we don't own anything. That this ownership that we believe we have is an illusion. It's something we perceive. I mean, it's if we don't want to suffer, we have to give up a lot of things. We have to give up a lot of things, a lot of attachments, a lot of things that, in a way, we value. So, and they kind of hurt to let go of, right? But I don't think they hurt to let go of. It just hurts because you're still grasping because you haven't really fully let go of them yet. The one thing that doesn't change is nature. Nature is not affected. Every other animal on this earth is not affected, but us. The problem with us humans is we have the ability to be self-conscious. We have the ability to see into the future and into the past, you know, which is amazing, which makes us like so creative and allows us to plan and set goals and be creative and, you know, create things and let things come into the world. But at the same time, it's like it can also create the opposite. It can create, you know, misery for us, and it can create all sorts of ailments and disease and stress because, you know, we're imagining the worst possible scenarios. We are using this creative process that we've been given, and we are just corrupting it and poisoning it. And, you know, you have things like the news and social media it's perpetuating this sense of doom, of angst, of worry, right? It's using our creative imagination to destroy us, to weaken us, to create fear in our hearts and, you know, fear in our minds. So I think now more than ever is the time where we need to spread hope and faith and trust. I guess the key to how we come out of this is like, do we come out of this better people? Or do we come out of this worse people? More fear, more scared of our neighbors, more fearful, more isolated, or do we come out more empathetic and more community-based and loving and sharing? Or do we become like what we've seen in like the grocery stores, where it's, you know, take all for myself and fuck everyone else, and I'm gonna hoard this and sell it to you for more, and like, you know, I feel like, you know, so I feel like humanity is being displayed right now. Humanity is being, it's all coming out. as us, and we have to take a deep look at this and see the panic shopper in all of us, and see the person buying hand sanitizer and reselling it for more as part of us. We need to see that shadow within ourselves, I believe. It's like people are looking at this on the news and social media and making fun of all these people, but we have to realize that is inside all of us. That person that will do that in that circumstance, it's inside all of us, and we have to accept that and integrate that, I believe. How can my actions help the betterment of everyone? How can I bring more peace into this earth? How can I stand up for what's right? How can I live more? How can I live in truth? Who am I? These moments remind me of just how special just being alive is, and just being present is, and how profound it is, and how we really don't need anything else but that. Like, we've grown up in a culture and in a society where we've been taught that we need so much, that we need vehicles and crazy homes and clothing and like everything, electronics, like a whole gamut of things, and that is what like our whole economy is based off of. I get it, and it's made life really convenient and like pleasurable and satisfying. I get it. It's good. It's not bad. But we've forgotten how wondrous just being alive is, just being present is, just being able to experience the world through our six senses. And like, I thought about that like the last couple of days, like to really just live and survive and be happy is like, you don't need much. I guess the question is, how do we use this time? How do we spend our time away from our work, away from events, away from any outside stimulus? Do we spend it, stuck to our phones, TVs, watching 24-hour news? Or do we spend it looking within and, wondering how we can become better people? Learning new hobbies, spending time with family, friends, close friends, Do we spend it for the better of the collective, or do we just waste it? It's so funny, like before everything started getting canceled and shut down and closed and whatnot, I was in Costa Rica. I mean, I'm not one to ever watch the news, go on Facebook too much. I mean, I post a lot, but I'm never really scrolling it. I find like I just don't have time. Or I don't want to spend my time, I guess, more. I mean, I could always make time for it, but anyway, but like, I was just not aware of this virus epidemic going on, right? And like, it's so interesting to see the shift, right? To see how all of a sudden, boom, I'm looking on the internet, watching the news, how much like my mind, boom, like just from like absolute no fear, like had no idea what's going on, to like full blown like anxiety and like almost like a panic attack, like that. There's just all of a sudden, when you first find out about it, I think they've been kind of reporting on it for months, and I just never paid attention to it. I was just doing my thing, working on my business, working on my goals, working on just me. And then like as soon as I start paying attention to it, it's like boom, I lose all motivation for doing anything for myself. I'm just in fear of the future. I'm just like, wow. You know, it really makes you like understand like what we put our focus on matters. And so I guess in this time it's important to not lose focus. It's important not to be so wrapped up in this that you forget about real life, like who you are and you know what matters to you and what you want. And it's also a good time to really like again ponder those questions of who you are, what you want, what's important to you, especially in this time when everything is kind of being ripped away from us, right? When all our events, sports, everything that we tend to put a lot of value on is ripped away from us. I find it's a really good time to look at what we actually want and what we need, and who we are, because this is a perfect time to self-inquire. This is a perfect time to be more aware, to look within. It's this is, you know, this could be a blessing in disguise. It's all how you frame it.